You're watching Las Vegas 1. News and information 24/7.
Northern Nevada attorney and U.S. Senate candidate Chuck Kozak says he wants to save America from Washington and from Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid's policies. What's his plan? And does he have the name recognition to win votes in that crowded Republican primary? We'll ask him next on Face to Face.
Tough questions, direct answers. This is Face to Face with John Ralston.
Welcome to Face to Face. I'm John Ralston. Northern Nevada attorney Chuck Kozak wants to move from the courtroom to the Capitol. He's one of several candidates looking to unseat U.S. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid in 2010. How does he plan to do it? Chuck Kozak joins us to talk about his campaign. Welcome to the program, sir.
Nice to be here.
All right, let's talk about Chuck Kozak. Most people don't know who you are down here in Southern Nevada. I don't know if they know much about you in Northern Nevada. You're not a guy who's been around Nevada politics for long. So why are you running for the U.S. Senate?
Well, I'm running for the U.S. Senate because this country needs some help. We're headed in the exact wrong direction, and if we don't straighten things out pretty soon, we're all going to pay a terrible price, including the people that come behind us. We're going to have a definite decrease in our standard of living and in our freedoms. Why you? Why now? Well, you just have that inner voice when you see that somebody needs to step forward and exert some leadership. I just don't see it in the rest of the field, and I don't see it coming from Mr. Reid.
You don't see it in the rest of the field. It's interesting because you do have to distinguish yourself, obviously, from the 8 or 9 people at least who have said they're running, and there may be more. I'm not sure everyone will file. But let me show you what you said on your campaign website in terms of how you're going to distinguish yourself from Republicans in Washington. I am not in any way a part of the failed Republican establishment whose abandonment of principle and confusion of cronyism capitalism led to our present calamity, led to an ultra-liberal federal government marching to tax and regulate or outright own everything it can grab. Okay, wrong principle there, but forget about that. Talk about, you think even the Republicans in Washington have lost their way?
Definitely. If you look at the bailout under President Bush, and you look at his fiscal policies and his inflationary policies, monetary policies, these are definitely not Republican Reagan-esque policies.
There's more spending under the Bush administration than any other administration, right?
That's right, and I don't condone that whatsoever. I condemn it, and I think that there's, in a lot of instances, not a dime's worth of difference between the Republicans and the Democrats, and so that's why I'm running. I'm not an establishment candidate whatsoever.
That's for sure. And in fact, most people, as I mentioned, don't know who Chuck Kozak is, and you're not getting mentioned in any of the stories, including in some of the national analysts are looking at this race. Jennifer Duffy, who's an analyst for the Cook Political Report, did an event at the National Press Club this week, and it was reported by Lisa Mascaro in The Sun. She said the Republican primary is really between 2 candidates, and neither of them are named Chuck Kozak. One's Danny Tarkanian, and the other's Sue Loudon. Here's what Duffy said. There are 2 candidates who matter right now. She judges the seriousness of a candidate on several factors: the quality of the campaign team assembled, the ability to craft a message and stick with it, and fundraising prowess. Loudon and Tarkanian, the only 2 candidates I see doing this, she said. I don't see evidence of that right now from anyone else in this race. Tell me she's wrong.
She is wrong, because when the time comes to get our message across, we'll have sufficient funds to do that.
But you don't have much money now. I saw your report. It was about 80 grand you've raised, right?
Well, I'm very gratified. We have over 1,000 donors from every state in the union, conservative grassroots donors, and we're picking up steam and momentum, and I think by the time we need to get our message out, we'll have the money to do it.
Listen, you're no dummy. You've been around for a long time. You were in the Marines. You're a smart guy. You're an attorney. Even if 1,000 people gave you $80 each, that's still not very impressive compared to $8.7 million on hand for the senator. Even Danny Tarkanian's raised a $250,000. Sue Loudon obviously didn't file a report. She just got in to the race. John Chachis, another totally unknown guy who actually lives in New York, is coming home to run. He's put $1 million of his own money in. I mean, you seem to be like in about 5th place here, sir.
Well, we'll have enough money to get our message across as time goes along. I can promise you that.
Do you have deep pockets? You can put a lot of your own money in? Are you John Chachis?
Yeah, well, I don't know about John's personal wealth, but I'm certainly in a position to put my own money in, yes.
Really? And it's that important to you to try to win this race?
It definitely is. Believe me, I have better things to do with my time, and I could use it in a lot of other ways, but I think the time has come for me to do what I need to do.
So you don't think you're the Don Quixote of this race at all?
Not at all. I think people out there are angry and upset, and I think they're ready to listen to my message, which is We got to get back to the Reagan conservative principles that made this country great for 25 years. And we've strayed, the Republican Party strayed away from those principles, and now we're paying a steep price, and it's going to get worse.
All right, when we come back, I do want to talk about some of your ideas on health care and the economy. We'll talk to Chuck Kozak. He's part of that crowded Republican field running against the Senate Majority Leader. Back in a moment.